Hey guys, it's Anna. Welcome back to my channel. If you watched my previous video, you know that I purchased this olive green Kaweco collection pen recently, and it arrived today. It's got a nice little gold in there on the pen. The writing here for the Kaweco collection is in gold, and then the pen nib on the inside is also gold plated as well. This is a medium nib. So I purchased this little pen and thought I would share the process with you of choosing an ink to use, as well as inking it and what the writing experience is like once it's inked. So cute little pen. When it's capped, it's about 4 inches long. So they are tiny, perfect for just throwing in a purse or putting alongside a small journal, for example. So I love these little pens. I think they're great. They also always come with a ink cartridge in them. The pens that I have purchased have always come with a blue ink cartridge. You could use this ink cartridge if you wanted to, just by inserting it and pressing it into the little peg that's in there to gather the ink. Or you can use what's called a converter, and they sell these. This is a Kaweco converter made specifically for these pens, and you can put any ink that you want to in these little converters. So that's what I'll be doing today. I always save these, and I put 1 or 2 in my pencil bag if I'm out, like if I go to the lake or something, then I always have a spare ink cartridge with me. So I'll just leave that aside. I'm going to go ahead and insert this. This is the tiniest little converter, but it's perfect length for the body of this pen, because you can only have a converter that's, you know, fits within the body of the pen here. So it has to be this cute little tiny thing. So I'm going to go ahead and press this inside here up on that little neck where the ink goes through, and that's it. The little converter now is attached to the pen. Maybe, there we go. And it's ready for ink. So let's go ahead and put these aside and take a look at some of my inks here. All right, so some of these I have inked in pens already, so I'm not gonna use an ink that I already have in a pen. Like this Sequoia Green would be a beautiful companion to go with this pen, but I already have that in a different pen. Here's that Aircore Blue Black from Noodlers. This is the one that takes forever and a day to dry, but it's such an interesting ink swatch right there, and I love the color. So I'm going to pass on any black inks. I already have the Aurora Borealis in a pen. This ink here is just way too goopy. You can see how thick it came out on the glass dip pen. And so that one is a definite fail. I think I'll just save this ink for use like on watercolor paper or something like that. If I want to make an interesting background using the bright blue like this, I'll just use this ink. And this is another interesting ink, actually. This is Organic Studio Nitrogen. This is a high sheening ink, and so what that means is it has a color shift from one color to the other. So it goes from this blue, beautiful blue color, and then the sheen of it is actually this beautiful red color. So it's a very interesting ink. And it reminds me, when I was a kid, my mom used to use the crystal Bic pens, and I remember her writing with some of them, and that the ink came out really goopy. She always used medium ballpoint pens, and the ink came out really goopy, and I remember sometimes it would have a red sheen, and I always thought it was just the most amazing thing. Here's a beautiful Sherlock Holmes blue. This is like a denim blue. I don't think I'm going to put any purple in it. Yeah, I think I'll pass on purple. This one actually has a little bit of shimmer in it. It's a really beautiful ink. Let's see. I might do a brown. I could do walnut. I do like this moonstone color as well. I already have this green in a pen, so even though it would be a perfect match for it, I think I'll pass on the olive green color for now. So pretty. And I don't want to do black. I already have a couple of pens in black. And I already have this terracotta in a pen as well. It's a really beautiful color. This would be another perfect match for this particular pen if I wanted to be super, super matchy, but since I already have that other olive green in a pen, I think I'll pass on this one for now. I already have projector film in a pen. This is a really interesting color. When you write with it, it goes down almost like a khaki color, and it dries down to like a cocoa brown. It's very interesting ink. Let's see. This Cafe Crema is very similar to the gingerbread, so I think I'll pass on that one, although I think that's a very interesting ink. This one, the Burgundy Royale. Oh, I think yesterday or on my previous video this week, I think I said this was a Robert Oster ink, but it's diamine. So my mistake there. But this is a beautiful ink. This is the one I have in my brass Kaweco. And I love this Red Dragon. Holy moly, that's a beautiful ink. I think maybe I'll do... let's see. This Gold Antiqua is pretty. I do like this ink. So maybe I'll do that one, or... Oh, I love this Motor Oil. Motor Oil you would think would just be boring black, but it's not. It's like a rich walnut brown with green sheen. It's a very interesting ink. This bronze is also really beautiful as well, but I really like this Motor Oil color. Kansas City looks very much like gingerbread. And oh, this is another very interesting one. Graphite you would think would just be gray, but it's actually like a really deep green, and it has colors like of blue and purple that come out of it as well. This is a very beautiful ink. And I think I'll skip these two greens. Aren't these pretty? Let's see. I love this one as well. That Wagner color. Gorgeous. There's gingerbread. Sepia is very close to gingerbread, so I'll pass on sepia for now. I think I might do either Motor Oil or Gold Antiqua. I think I'm going to use the Motor Oil. So, all right. So now that I've chosen my ink color, I'm going to go over here to my little ink box. These are just little samples, 2 milliliter samples, and find my Motor Oil sample. And this is a generous 4 milliliter sample. And then I have this little cap to a foundation bottle that I've been using as kind of like a base to hold my ink samples up so they're not quite so tippy. So I just set it in there. So I'm just going to roll this around and make sure that ink is nice and mixed. I don't want to shake it because that makes bubbles, but just rolling it around will ensure that all the colors are all combined. So you open that up. Beautiful. All right, so to ink a pen, you want to submerge your nib. Well, I could fill this with a like a dropper, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to do it the regular old way. So what you do when you fill an ink pen that has this sort of piston action, you want to submerge your pen all the way up past the nib itself so that you're not catching any air as you pull in ink. So I'm going to dip this down inside here. I'm going to have a paper towel here handy. And once I get that pen submerged, I'm going to pull up on this piston. And that is going to bring ink into the cartridge there, or into the converter. And then what I like to do is I like to empty it. I like to fill it once and then push the ink back out through the nib into the container. And then I like to slowly pull that piston up again. And you can generally get a better fill that way. So that's about as much as you can generally get in a Kaweco converter without filling it with an eyedropper. So that's a pretty good fill. So I'm going to set this aside here and cap this ink. The last thing I want to do is have ink over my desk and me and the floor. All right, so now I'm just going to wipe off the little bit of ink here that got on the plastic pen. And I see it's up on the neck here as well. All right, beautiful. So what that does when you submerge the ink is it actually primes your feed as well. So you don't generally have to wait too long for your pen to be ready to write, because you've primed that entire feed there with ink. So being very careful not to shove that piston back into that converter. I'm going to put this pen body back on here. Give it a nice little tug. Whoops, I just flung ink everywhere. And I am going to just use my little journal here to give this a quick test. Let's see. Gotta find a page that hasn't been used yet. And I like to cap these pens. They're a little short for me. Ink got on my hand. They're a little short for me if I don't cap them. But let's go ahead and give this a try. So this is, I'm gonna move my drink. This is oh, it writes so smooth. That's nice. I like that a lot. That was a great choice because see, it's like an olive green. Very interesting ink color. So that was fun. So if you had any questions about how to fill a pen, that's how you do it. It's really easy. And yeah, so then you have, you know, that whole converter of ink to use and enjoy. And when you run out, you can clean it out and refill it with the same ink, or you can fill it with a totally different ink, up to you. So anyways, thought I would share this process with you. Hope this was helpful and you enjoyed it. And thanks for watching. Talk to you again soon. Bye.